Hey, what is going on, you guys? I am James from James Reptiles, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at some of the geckos that I have produced this year, and I do have a lot of really good ones in there. I'm excited to show you guys. But a quick couple things I want to talk about first. One, I've been having a lot of fun with my 3D printer, so that's really exciting. If I go to any shows, if I'm at a table, I probably end up bringing some of these little knickknacks I've been making. You know, the ones, the little lizards that shake, they move and all that. I'm not super great at it. It's not like the smoothest, best quality, obviously, but it is fun. And I got a bunch of different colors, so I'm making a couple different things in all sorts of colors. I'm having fun with it. So if you'd like to support me, ask me about those. I'm not selling them for too expensive. Yeah, I can make other stuff if you want. The other thing I want to talk about is I am getting a new phone. I got the Samsung 22 Ultra with like 500 gigabytes. And the reason I'm talking about this, otherwise it wouldn't matter, is I'm wondering if the quality of the camera would be better than the GoPro. Now, with 512 gigabytes, I could probably film a couple videos and leave it on there and transfer it to my computer. Obviously with this, I just take the SD card out, but on the phone, I can upload them to the Google Drive and then delete them off my phone. So I might play around with that. I might test it. If you guys are interested in seeing a difference, you might see a video with the phone or two, just to see how it goes. One other thing I want to talk about, that enclosure right there, I picked that up at the last expo, which was Fresno. I did not film at that expo, I was busy working. I have a 10-gallon fish tank in my room, and that's a paludarium with about, I don't know, 6 to 8 gallons at the bottom. So what I plan to do, someone's at my door, hold on. That was Amazon delivery guy. Screen protectors for the phone, which I should be getting in a couple of days because they didn't have the 512 in stock. But as I was saying, this paludarium, what I plan to do is I plan to take everything out, and I want to make it one of those really nice planted tanks with the, you know, the spray foam on the back. Probably this side covered in bark and stuff, and this side open, because that's the side I'll be able to see from my bed, and this side will be against the wall. And then I will transfer, you know, I have my bristlenose plecos and my couple little guppies. I'll probably transfer them at the bottom. It's got the pump, it's got the stand. I have a light in the closet for it. It's a project that will probably take me a long time because I'm not super, those projects aren't really my forte. I'll say that. I've done a couple, they haven't turned out super great. So I'm gonna take my time with it. I'm not gonna rush anything. And honestly, it'll probably sit up there just like that for a few months before I actually start doing anything. Unfortunately, it is just such a busy season for me, but it's busy for a lot of good reasons. So as you can see, I am slowly running out of rack space. So very soon here, I will have to order a new rack, but almost 3 rows are gonna be cleared out this week of geckos going out. And I will show you guys some of these geckos that are gonna go out. It's a lot of these red tags from last year, and there's a couple in here. Like this one always has problems shedding and doesn't put on any weight. I think I have like one more like that. It's probably the only other one without a tag on it, but she actually looks really good right there. So who knows, I might post her up eventually. This one's not for sale. It's a patternless Super Snow Eclipse, quote unquote Black Knight. I say quote unquote because it's technically a Black Knight, but I mean, if you couldn't tell the difference between that and one that wasn't. So those are the only geckos left from last season, and let's just kind of go through. Now, it's been probably 4 days since I've cleaned and fed, so nothing's gonna be perfect. We have a snow albino from group A Max Snow radar, crinkle eye. Its eyelids are all jacked up. That's actually on MorphMarket as a pet only gecko. White and yellow radar, white and yellow Super Snow radar, and this Black Knight head eclipse. Pretty dark. It was super dark, lightened up when I was going to take it to the show, and so I sold it to the guy I sold it to for a really good price. And of course it's getting back dark, so it is what it is. Black Knight Eclipse, Super Snow Black Knight Eclipse. These are actually from 2 different pairings. Same guy bought that one, bought this one, also bought like 7 adults. Love that guy. I don't know if he wants me to say his name, but he's a good customer. He's bought from me before. Black Knight head eclipse, Snow Black Knight double het patternless eclipse. The thing was, last year I produced a lot of snow double hets or snow head eclipse, pos het, patternless, and it really, I have to clean that. I just saw like a bunch of flies. I think he like spilled his water dish and it got into the food dish. I don't know. That one needs to be cleaned today because that's really gross. I produced a lot of those kind of geckos last year. Snow double heads and all that, and Super Snow double heads. And so my goal for this year was to cut that number back at least a little bit and then make things darker and more visuals. So I think I did do that. I made a couple more Eclipse than I did, and I made less double hets. I don't think I necessarily made anything darker. On average, my all black Knight Eclipse male, Snow Black Knight Eclipse, and his granddaughter, who was a Max Snow Black Knight Eclipse. This was her first year, and she honestly lost a lot of weight and didn't actually lay any eggs. So there's a lot of disappointment there. I will be holding a second one back this year that's really dark, and it will, you know, next year he'll go to both of them, and hopefully one of them will lay. But yeah, let's keep going with the video. Again, Super Snows, Max Snow that are all double het. Those don't really make a whole lot of money. They're probably at the lower end. They probably sell those for 150 to 200 depending. Here we have some 75% Black Knight Eclipses. Kind of dark. If I don't produce another black female to hold back, I'll probably hold back one of these. These are actually a joint project. I'll explain that in a second. Another white and yellow Super Snow radar. These are actually really awesome, but I don't know if I want to keep one of these. I have two right now. And so I have a male, and he's with two Super Snow radars. One's a white and yellow, and then two like white and yellow snow double het, white and yellow radar. And it's like, I should replace those two that aren't white and yellow snow radars with these, but I do like seeing the variants. But you know, getting a radar snow or a snow eclipse het radar or a white and yellow radar, they don't make as much money as one of these. Now, one of these doesn't sell as quick. So it's a hard toss-up for sure. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. Patternless Eclipse. This one looks to be a patternless het Eclipse. These are the first blood bells of the season. I didn't take these to the show. The second clutch also has this problem where one's much lighter. I'm not really sure what that is. I don't believe it's white and yellow, but these I don't like to sell as babies because, like Tangerine Tornadoes, they're going to change a lot. And the Tangerine Tornadoes didn't really do great this year. I don't know exactly how many eggs I have, but I don't think any have hatched out yet. So just a regular snow, Black Knight Eclipse snow, little tiny curly tail. This one came out kind of runty. That one will also be sold as a pet only when it's ready. I definitely want to give those ones the benefit of the doubt. And Black Knight het Eclipse, really dark on that one. This one, just a snow, Black Knight Snow double het, and I'm gonna help him with this little bit of shed that's stuck on his face. There we go, bud. Oh, oh. Now it's like he's got a little horn. Oop, there we go. Okay. Alrighty then. Moving on. Just again, snow double hets. Hopefully, I don't think I have as many as I did last year. Or maybe I just have more of other things. Last year I produced 80 something geckos. This year we're close to 50, and I think I have enough in the incubator to at least get me to 110, which I was hoping for a bit more. That's the wrong level. I was hoping for a bit more, but it is what it is. Snow. Group 1 is going away this year, by the way. This gecko is, again, part of that joint, joint project. So originally what happened is when I got my Black Knight, the only female I had to breed him to was the Super Snow patternless. I just didn't have a lot of geckos, and I spent all the money on this Black Knight, and I love that decision, but at the time I didn't have any females to put him to. So I had a buddy lend me an Eclipse female, and so we made some 50%, all of them came out Eclipses. So he came back this year, I think we skipped a year, and he came back this year and he goes, hey, I didn't really do anything with this female last year, or the babies weren't super great. If you have an extra spot in your rack, I'd love to put her back to your male and get some 75s. And I wasn't planning on having an extra spot, but I ended up having an extra spot once I set everything together. And so that's what we did. We put that female back, and so that's where this all black, I don't even know if it's a Super Snow or if it's a Snow, all black Eclipse. And again, these two kind of dark ones came. And we do have, I think, either 2 or 4 more eggs in the incubator for that project. So what we did last time is we got all the babies together, and I think we decided, because my male was worth a lot more and I took his female, obviously I wasn't going to give him my male, he was breeding so many other things. I took his female because I did the work and my male was worth more. I got first pick. Once all the babies were like good and healthy and the mom was returned, I got first pick. And then he picked one, and then I picked one, and so on and so on. We haven't really discussed how we're going to do it this year. I know he's going to really want that because he doesn't have any Black Knights. besides that female. I think he sold all the ones from previous years, and of course nothing that dark, so he's gonna want something this dark to pair to that female. But if this is temp sex female, I don't know what we're gonna do. We might end up selling that one. I think he kind of mentioned he wants to sell that one and split the money. I don't know, we'll see. Just more of the same. 3.5A, that's a project I have to work on, and I know that. So that's what this double visual, that's what these are for. That's what these are for. So next year, they, in theory, should all be double visual. So what I did this year is, instead of putting a het to a het, or a double het to a double het, and getting a couple, getting like 2 visuals, I put a double visual to a double het. So everything coming out is either a visual or a het, which is a lot nicer than pos hets. And next year with this female, they're going to be all double visuals, and with that female. And then after that, it's finding a super snow, a patternless eclipse. It's not the one I wanted, who is kind of dark, who maybe like visual one het the other, and pairing it and getting just darker animals, and maybe taking a double visual and putting it with the all black eclipse and getting het patternlesses that are dark. So that's where we're at with that project. I think that's the one we just looked at. Yes, nothing special. A snow, that's a weird looking snow. I don't know why. Kind of looks white and yellow, but I don't know why one baby would be white and yellow. That makes no sense. 4B is a really good project. It's a 50% to it's a 75. Actually, is it? It's a 50 to a 50. No, I think it's a 75 to a 50. I can double check that on the computer later. This female will probably get traded for another black het eclipse from a buddy of mine, Adam Olin. This female is going to be your het eclipse. Of course, the visual eclipse is the all dark one. I love how that works out. Not as dark, het eclipse. You know, that can make like $250, $300 off that one, which is nice. All these up here, all these big tubs are all males. White and yellow radar, 50% black knight patternless het eclipse. I think this one and the clutch mate next to it were kind of runty. Yeah, those two were kind of runty. 50% black knight eclipse het patternless. You're getting the ones that are just a couple days old. Just another snow albino. This is the first year I produced albinos, which I think means my original male Malloy was pos het albino, or het albino, I should say. Here we have another white and yellow radar, and then another albino snow. These ones are literally from yesterday. Black Knight het eclipse, kind of runty. Blood bell, and then this last baby is a blood bell. Again, like I said, for some reason, one is much lighter in color, and I don't quite know why. But those are the babies from this year. It is very hot here in California. The incubators are doing good. On these hot days, I like to take a little bit of, 4 or 5 ice cubes. I put them in a deli cup in there. It kind of keeps them from getting a couple degrees hotter than they're supposed to be. But it is still very hot. We have the AC in the room. And honestly, I can't wait to not have the AC in the room. We won't have the mealworm rack. And there's just gonna be so much space in the winter. Like, I have that small little space heater, but I can move that. The AC you really can't move. It has to be next to the window. So I'm very excited to open up the space more. It's very tight in here right now. If I want to do anything, I have to move the table. I have to move a bunch of stuff, and it's just not the best. But we are hatching other stuff. If you guys want to see that in future videos, we did find a new editor, and I was supposed to film this video for him a couple days ago. That's on me. A couple gargoyles hatched out. I got lily whites hatching out. Yeah, just all sorts of fun stuff. The blue beauty snakes are like a month and 2 weeks old. So, probably another month and a half to go, and we will have 15 baby Vietnamese blue beauties. It took me too long to get press and seal. I was trying all these things to keep the eggs from denting in. I was having all these problems with the whole clutch denting in, or the ones on top the most, really. Everything else was okay, with the couple on top were denting in. So I finally went and got press and seal, and immediately, the next day, it was like night and day. The eggs look perfect. I candled them all. They all look great. I've got 15. 2 are already spoken for, and I will most likely keep the nicest, bluest female. If you're gonna buy a snake, wait a year, pick out a breeder, tell them you want the nicest female, give them some money, some good faith money, and and have him let you pick the best female out. That's the way to do it. That's the way to make money with snakes. They're all the same except for one. One always comes out way nicer, and people realize that. But anyway, that was all the leopard geckos I produced this year so far. Like I said, I think we're at 47 leopard geckos for this year. Last year we hit 80 something. This year I'm hoping for around 100, 110. But with that, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. All that definitely helps out the channel. And hopefully, I say this every time, we will be back on a regular schedule. So thank you for watching. Peace out.